Yeah, it's not just a movie, it's a whole festival. And the man that is frothing to deliberate and bring you all the highlights of it and exactly why we need to be frothing too is JP Sebastian.
I don't know why I'm shocking.
You just can't resist, man.
I'm too amped, guy.
Yeah, this is awesome, bro.
And so, look, first thing is everyone's referring to it as an anime festival, and that's correct, sure. But I want to say just off bat, like, it's a cinema festival. Every one of these movies, 3 of them, they're masterpieces. And if you have at least one eye and a heartbeat, this is for you.
You use the word masterpiece, right? And you don't use that very often.
No,
so this is really saying a lot.
They center on this studio called Studio Ghibli, and about 90% of their output is masterpieces. So right at the top again, T's and C's, JP, like his feelings and his praise about this. Another way I could put that, this is for everyone, is to put it this way. My father's favorite movie, you could say, is UEFA Champions League. and once I showed him Princess Mononoke from the studio, and afterwards all he could say was, is there more?
Oh, wow, you turned him.
Yeah, well,
wow.
the studio turned him.
Yeah.
And so it's not just me who's wild about this. And JP's I'm going to sound so over the top during this. I must say to everyone, by the way, I don't get paid. I don't get sponsored by these studios or whatever. This is just me speaking from the heart. So you know,
this is
it would be
JP
unethical
passion.
if I was getting sponsored by them. And so getting my back as well would be the Oscars and the Academy. And this studio has had 7 nominations in the past. Just this year, they won for The Boy and the Heron, another masterpiece. I'm going to abuse that word so much. And one of the movies that they're showing during this festival is Spirited Away. That's the second movie on the 23rd of August. Also got their first Oscar back in 2003. That, by the way, what you were watching there was Hayao Miyazaki, one of the co-founders of the studio, getting an honorary Oscar where he was being given that for his impact on cinema.
Okay.
Not just animation, on cinema.
So this is not just JP hype. This is clearly the world around.
I know, I'm getting like now, but like I'll tell you a whole bunch of other names. Kate Blanchett, Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson. The list goes on and on of actors who will try and get into rather than get called. They'll be like, we want to be a part of this magic.
Wow, they're the ones knocking on the door to try and get involved in this.
Absolutely. Martin Scorsese says he was grateful to Leonardo DiCaprio for introducing him to these movies. Wow. They're both mega fans. So that's all the fans.
With that being said, obviously we've got the fans, we've got the credibility coming from the big names. What about you personally, man? What's your reason and your sort of affliction to this passion that we're seeing right now? Obviously it's justified.
So like there are a whole bunch of technical reasons, of course. Everyone's talking about the artistry, everyone's talking about the mastery of it all in the technical sense, and that's all correct. But I'll put it to you ridiculously this way, is that after you've seen enough of these, you're going to see light fall through a window onto a windowsill, and you're going to see, you know, it play through the leaves of trees and say to yourself, yeah, that's very Ghibli. You're going to say, thank you, God, that's so Ghibli. Ghibli gives you this gift of seeing differently. And the stuff that you thought was mundane before, actually it elevates life and tells you it's all beautiful again. That sounds so, you know, over the top and so ridiculous. But just again, to get into the rarity of this opportunity to see these movies, the 2 giants who are behind the bringing together of the studio back in 1985 is Hayao Miyazaki, already mentioned, and Isao Takahata. To get them out of the woodwork, because these are guys who have threatened to retire 1 million times.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because they're grumpy old men. And each time, by a miracle, they're pulled out of their caves, and it's like a cosmic event to have these guys. Oh my goodness, guys, Grave of the Fireflies, one of the most heartbreaking movies I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, I'm going to get distracted if I keep looking at the images, but there's the master himself. So not only is it the rarity of the opportunity to see, for a change, non-American films on the big screen, which we don't get enough often of, but I feel like, honestly, like I'm conning someone by only paying the price of a movie ticket and not the admission to the Louvre or the Duomo. All of these are art pieces, and it's maybe in 5 years, guys, we'll have our primary school students refer to as easily as they say Rembrandt or Renoir or Matisse, as they'll say Miyazaki and Takahata, because these are 2 masters we have, and I don't know how much longer. Well, I mean, rest in peace Takahata already, but 83-year-old Miyazaki, who's a master himself. Just he's such a fascinating guy as well, because it's a bundle of weird contradictions, and one of the things that gives vitality to these movies, that makes them feel so alive. One of the things, by the way, that I love about how they feel alive is you'll look at a still scene, not even with characters involved, just a scene of a bench or something, and the bench even feels warm, like someone's bum was just there. You'll see a stoop, and it's almost like you can smell the tobacco smoke in the fresh pressed newspaper. Everything feels lived, and how that happens is you'll watch this man animate, and preposterously, they don't have a written script. He'll write by doing storyboards. You know, those little planned
Old
sketches.
school. Whoa.
At the same time that you're trying to produce. So the animators don't know what the plan is, how it ends. Joe Hisaishi, who does the music and every song you're going to be whistling for the rest of your life after you listen to the movies, doesn't know what he's doing half the time. And even the director Hayao Miyazaki of Ghibli, there he is, peace, peace, victory, will say that he doesn't know how it's going to end. There's one scene in the great documentary Kingdom of Madness and Dreams and Madness, which you all should see if you've seen even one of these movies, where he's doing these plans and the animators are begging and waiting for him to finish just the plan so that they can do the whole story. And he's joking with one of his assistants and he's like mocking her for having one opinion about one of his previous works. And after the conversation, he finishes drawing, lifts his pencil and goes, oh, the scene changed. Like, just like that.
Wow.
A memorable masterpiece forever just changes just because life changed around him. So that's one of the ways that vitality just jumps off every page of every photon of every one of these movies. 2 Oscars, 7 nominations, and one of the greatest offerings to mankind we could ever have. Like I said, it's going to change the way you see light and the way you see life. That sounds so ridiculous,
Wow.
guys, but once you just give one a chance. Like I said, even my dad, who just, his favorite movie is soccer, suddenly he was like, is there more? Can I please have more?
I've never heard this passion. I've never seen you represent a movie as, well, a festival or something like this and an opportunity as a paradigm shift.
Raul, you watch any one of these and you're also going to be like, guys, why are these not even considered in the best picture category? It's a very sad story. But every one of these animations is a masterpiece and we're going to see hopefully a future of more and more of these being nominated. But right now you have the opportunity, and by the way, My Neighbor Totoro is next week Friday.
Yep.
Spirited Away is the 23rd of August. And Howl's Moving Castle, which is another just a great movie. Oh man, maybe not so much for the tiny kids, but Totoro definitely is. Howl's is the 6th of September.
6th
I'll talk about
September.
each one of them as the weeks go by though.
Oh, well, we've got every reason to get hyped and get involved in it. And if you want to talk about art, passion, and having your perception changed, then this is the paradigm shift that you've been waiting for. Nice.
Go do it.